bunny back in the box. I said, put the bunny back in the box.
Well, we know where we're going, but we don't know where we've been.
Well, we did it. We are here. The 5th episode of Flyover State of Film. No one thought we would get here. Simple as that. Coming from two guys with a family, one guy with a girlfriend that could have a family, and a guy who's the most inconsistent person on the internet there is. No one thought this was going to happen. But we're here, guys, and we're celebrating our 5th episode with my beautiful crew that I have here. Guys, let's have a nice clap for this 5th episode. We are here! Woo! Now, in this very, very special episode led by me, the wild card, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things and celebrating this. We have all dressed up to our finest abilities that you guys like to see. And with that, we are going to be celebrating this, talking summer movies, and a whole bunch of other good stuff. But before we get into that and the celebratory thing, we had a very special thing happen this past week with one of our guests. Or not one of our guests, one of our hosts. Joe Chandanga.
Hey.
He had something
Founding members.
Yeah, guest.
Yes, one of the guests. This is our guest, Joe. Hey, Joe, what's going on, bud? But you had
He's too good to be a host on this show now. We can barely hire him in as a guest now.
I'm moving on up.
Moving on up.
Let's,
you may have heard of it from Nerdist and being retweeted by the hottest ladies from the 80s, but...
So, Joe, tell us a little about that, bud.
So, it's all you. It's all this our group chat. No, we were joking around.
It's more than a dumb idea from TJ to make a fucking, an internet viral sensation, you know?
You said something along the lines of, like, yo, let's just replace... I'd rather see Howard in replace of Tom Cruise, because I hate him. And then quickly, with 2 minutes at work, I put him under the Born of the 4th of July, and then I went home, and the next morning I was like, that's kind of funny, and I just rattled a whole bunch of them out. Quick Photoshop jobs, and we compile them in a tweet. And then actually, I would say it's thanks to Mundy for going viral. He was the one big tweet. Him and Team Tiger Awesome and a few others where I think were the big tweets that just let it snowball. And then it got picked up by Nerdist. And then I am happy it's dying down. It's almost at 3,000 likes.
Yeah, and we were saying Leah Thompson retweeted last night.
Yeah, that was wild.
I'm jealous.
She demanded.
Yes.
I do all the right moves. Still out of principle.
But here's the thing, instead of doing the poster, just do the topless sex scene, you know? Just totally cut it. What, is this not what you meant? Oh, and then Joe gets Me Too'd off the back of his one big success.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
The podcast.
But for our 500th, let's pop. We all have a champagne.
You guys are thirsty. We should probably do this. So, in celebration of the 5th episode, and the Joe going viral over 54,000 views, 3,000 retweets, guys. Flyover State of Film, it is.
It is all.
Woo! Woo! Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought it would. Yep, in a minibus. All right.
That tastes super cheap.
So, with this, guys, I'm going to start us off. Now, summer's over. We're looking at about... Next episode will be going into September. It's basically fall. I want to pick everyone's brains.
Cheers.
All of us love... Yes, cheers. All of us love film. All of us go and see...
Oh, that's disgusting.
What were some of your favorite films of the summer? Worst films of the summer? So we'll start off with Brian. Just give us your favorite film, a little something about it. Your worst film, a little something about it. We'll move right on.
It's going to be cliche, but I just got it on Blu-ray, and I got to watch it a couple more times, up to 5 or 6 viewings now, and hands down, it's Infinity War for me. That movie is incredible. I mean, the achievement, it's not just that it's a good, fun popcorn action movie with great dialogue and great performances and beautiful effects, but, just like the original Avengers, it is a legit accomplishment. They have again changed the standard of what a cinematic universe can be and do. And I mean, and the fact is, flat out, it's good, and no qualifiers. No, like, oh, it's good for a Marvel movie. No. It's good for a cinematic franchise. It's just good. And Josh Brolin, man, blows me away more and more every time I watch it. How much of his performance that comes through in Thanos is incredible. It's unreal.
It's more nuanced, the performance, than you realize. Like,
absolutely.
But I will also agree with you on Infinity War. So when you get to me, I will not pick it. So let's just talk about Infinity War, because that
sure, do it now. Absolutely, anybody.
It's it's one of those ones you watch, and then the rewatchability was most impressive to me, because
I saw it 3 times in the movie theater. So
I saw it 3 times in the theater too. In a 3-day span, I was bam, bam, bam.
It's it's an achievement, man.
Yeah. I know that you said that it's a Thanos movie, but after watching it 3 times, I was surprised how they sneaked in actually being an Iron Man movie almost. I
was gonna say a Thor movie. I think it's another great Thor movie too.
It's impressive how they
between the things with him and Rocket and his big reveal, his big comeback in the final battle. I love all that. But yeah, absolutely, it's a great Iron Man movie too. Some people, I think Cap gets short shrifted a little bit. I think it's pretty obvious they didn't know how big Black Panther was going to be, because he's not got much to do. But that's okay. We got a whole nother movie. So
that's the one. That's the one thing I do wish, and that you mentioned Thor. Though I do wish, because how awesome Thor Ragnarok was. Yeah. I do wish his final fight scene, when he comes, he shows through with all the thunder, was more in the lines of Ragnarok, and just a little a minute longer of just kicking ass. That's my only
I do they cut back to it, and you see that he has basically single-handedly turned the tide of the whole battle, and he's taking down the ships and taking off, because he's an even more powerful Thor at the end. I don't think they really hit that hard enough.
Yeah.
But the new hammer has he became more powerful in Ragnarok, and then he took another jump up in power level in this one too. So he really is something pretty impressive going into the second part of Infinity War, which makes me even more excited for how powerful and badass Captain Marvel is going to be, because they said she's going to basically be their Superman, and I'm so excited for that.
So what's your worst?
Yeah.
Oh, worst. Honestly, I'm pretty good about not going to see movies I think are going to be bad. I know my own tastes pretty well. Well, I just know my own taste, and I don't get out to see as many movies because of, a kid and whatever. So I have to pick and choose. But one that he was allowed to see and that we were looking forward to was Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I know people in this room are gonna feel the similarly to me. It's just it's not even that I hated it. It's just nothing. I don't feel anything about the characters. 2 movies in, and I don't care about the characters at all. It's just dumb. It's just a movie where things happen, and it was a weird all the shit about the house that somehow had this weird dinosaur lab on it. It's just too dumb.
And it's called Jurassic World, and we're 90 minutes inside a house. So.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. 2 world in them, and we still haven't gone out into the world.
And even that cheap TV girl lets it go,
Fallen Kingdom. And I know I actually am a Lost World defender, but I know how people feel about that. I can confidently, to most people, be oh no, Lost World is much better.
Yeah. How about you, Jeff?
I didn't see Fallen Kingdom.
You have another worse one, because
well. So TJ and I, we went to go see the Meg together. We met each other in person finally.
Yes.
We had a real nice time. I did have several amounts of beers. And nice. The Meg was so boring, it took 45 minutes to get to things, and then once it got to things, I fell asleep. So that retroactively has to be my worst film of the summer. So I've never fallen asleep in a theater.
And I will absolutely chime in this. I'm the one guy, if you watch the last episode, who goes into shark movies expecting scientific, factual things to happen. I knew in Meg that you were going to get a ridiculous shark film. Guess what you didn't get? A ridiculous shark film. You spent 45 minutes staring at Jason Statham talk, maybe a little bit of a shark, maybe a little bit of an ocean creature of some sort, And then at some point you get to a shark, then they get away from it. It was just this whole mess of boringness where they completely lost what they could have just done and just went all over. Like people were saying,
I liked it.
not do the very beginning of the book?
It was you guys and a couple, not. I didn't watch many reviews, but based on what you guys told me, and then also just people who like are usually pretty positive, being kind of lukewarm on it, and people who I knew went into it with that same mindset you were talking about of like, just show me something crazy, just show me. I want the spiritual sequel to Deep Blue Sea. I don't want your shitty TV sequel. I want this to be the kind of like take it to that level, and I like my shark movies in all different shapes and sizes, but I was like, you know what? I'll still see this one when it comes to, because me and my son just love monster movies, but I was like, not in the theater. I'll take him to see Teen Titans Go to the Movies, which is fucking mwah.
And also for like your kid, like 100%, this is a very kid-friendly film, I believe. Like there's not much that is not, you wouldn't see in like a dinosaurs movie where a dinosaur eating another dinosaur. Now, if there is a human scene, it's cut away real fast, and you're just like,
we went to Rampage, and the fucking hero monkey of that movie just straight up swallows a woman at the end, and he's a good guy.
My biggest complaint though with the Meg is I'm all for character development. They spent, I swear, 45 minutes of character development on the most boring people that weren't Jason Statham.
Yes, and even like Dwight Schrute.
I like Dwight.
In that, like he played his role and he was supposed to be. Then they took his character and flipped him with the. I'm just like, what are you doing? Just you should have went with the evil guy.
I guess I came in like my expectations for fun was. Is it in focus and is there a shark? And I guess it hit all the marks for me because I was like, all right, that was fine.
Reminder to our fans out there that Jusef thinks Jaws is boring. So his opinion should be probably taken with like a grain of salt or a whole fucking pile of salt.
Also visit my website and tell me that you're taking my opinion with a grain of salt. But just
please comment on this video and follow the link to why I love movies.
But you said with that, what's your favorite? Because I know you've seen a lot more movies than us this summer. So what's your favorite?
Yeah, this guy's a legit. I'm a critic. I go to the movies.
Hotel Transylvania 3 is like my number 2 because I've only seen like 3 movies.
Yo, we're done with you. We're moving on to you.
That's a dope movie, guys. The Hotel Transylvania franchise is awesome.
Yo, them fish. I love them fish.
I like Blobby. I'm here for Blobby.
Hold on. Let's pause a minute. Hotel Transylvania 3 is a ton of fun. And it makes you want to listen to YMCA. The Macarena.
Did someone mute him? All right.
I have the power.
That's right. You have the power, yeah.
You know how many retweets I have?
Oh, no. Here we go.
Yeah, it starts, baby.
Welcome
I'm sorry.
Flyover State.
Exactly. Welcome to Joe's Flyover State of Film.
as comic book.
I noticed our logo turned into Howard the Duck too. That was weird.
Although I'll tell you this, how comic book is comic book something CBR.com picked up the story
and cut half of it.
Yeah, they didn't talk to me, but they said super Tom Cruise fan, Joe from Twitter. Sorry, go,
dude.
What do you got for your best, man?
Sorry, Jusef, go on.
Give us.
I don't know. I could pick one of the blockbusters because I did love like Avengers and I did love Mission Impossible and I did love a couple more. But just to give love to like a small indie movie that really, really blew my mind in terms of how good it was because I had no clue what it was. It's called Blind Spotting.
Oh yeah.
It's like a huge mix of like hip hop, poetry, like stunning visuals, a crazy good story, funny as hell. Like it's from one of the stars of Hamilton. So the dude just raps his ass off in the movie, and it has one of the funniest exchanges between his buddy and him. That it was literally just me and another dude in the theater because I saw it on a Friday at 12 p.m. because I had a day off, and we both were just laughing so hard in that theater, and it was just me and him watching that movie. So I recommend that fully if you want to watch it.
The dude from Hamilton, who I'm looking it up, David Diggs.
Yeah.
He was good in that because I know he was on Blackish or is on Blackish for a while, and I watched Blackish, and he was so annoying. So he's not.
He's good in that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool, I can see
a better written character. Well, and I mean, I feel like Blind Spotting maybe didn't get as much attention as Sorry to Bother You, and they may have kind of had a similar kind of like trying to like get out a message to a similar audience at least.
Yeah,
I didn't get to see any of that independent stuff. I do not have the time for anything like that, so I'm totally in the dark.
So Blind Spotting tackles more, like it does tackle racism and all that fun stuff, but it really focuses more on
today on a very special episode of Flyover State of Film. We're going to talk about racism.
No, but it focuses more on gentrification, like how the hipster movement is just pushing away the hoods and it's just painting over the walls and putting brunch places up where a dude got shot yesterday. But it really tackles that, and it's pretty impressive. And my worst movie, like it's just like dog shit. It's like a dog took a shit on a dog that was shitting on another dog. Baby. And that's Slender Man. Like I watched Slender Man, and it's so bad that I didn't even want to write a review. I just wrote no because I didn't want to waste my words on this fucking movie. It's so bad. And the reason why it's bad is because they shot an entire movie and they got scared that they were going to get sued. Because and they cut away.
Because they didn't want to seem like they were capitalizing on a real life tragedy, what they 100% were.
Yeah.
So
if you're gonna do it.
I kind of want to see Slenderman still. It sounds intriguingly bad.
I thought it was. I was hoping for so bad it's funny, and it was just so bad it's boring.
Is it like Rings?
No, Rings is more entertaining.
Oh, that was dog shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to have that there. Like that's just like those type of horror movies I think about when you think of like Slenderman and stuff like that. But I mean, like this summer has been pretty shitty when it comes to movies, and like even with trailers and Comic-Con and like Shazam is the best trailer that's coming out that I think stuff like that. But other than that, you have nothing that really look forward to. The summer's been pretty dull and probably one of the worst ones I think, in my opinion, this year. But move on from the summers now.
I want to give one shout out to the movie Eighth, speaking of smaller movies, to Eighth Grade. If you have an opportunity, go see that. It was really, really solid and impactful, and I just love this like snapshot into this girl's life. Anyway, that's I know.
The way that they captured social media and the addiction to social media and how it's influencing now the kids, how they grow up, how they view themselves, like if they don't have followers, or if they don't have likes, or like trying to project that perfect personality in front of social media versus how they act in the real world. It was very well made, that movie.
Change my mind. I don't want to have kids.
To be honest with you, Jusef, to capitalize on that, so this social media anxiety is not even to like talk about like what went on with my like viral tweet. I did get an anxiety yesterday when it hit so big, and then I was like, wait, things are picking it up. And I kind of understood that because I couldn't get off my goddamn phone, even though it kept being the same thing of like, no, I'm serious. This Twitter user that has 4 likes, that has 4 followers, liked your thing.
Yeah.
And you just
I've heard of people who like took Twitter off their phone and stuff. I didn't go that far, but I did turn off my notifications. So I only see Twitter when I open Twitter. I don't get the little notification on my phone. Yeah. And that is me a lot. Because I was that way too. It's like if I looked at my phone and had one notification, I would look at it. It's like, what does it matter? One person liked one. You can get back to it when you get back to it. So I understand that, and I think like, you don't have to go as drastic as cutting it off your whole system, but
no.
What Joe went through this past week with all this.
It's funny. I didn't mute that thing because I was so intrigued, but now it's about 3,000 now. I've muted it because I'm not kidding. Like, I think it's awesome. I'm very happy, grateful. I'm done.
I'm spent.
Commission work from Joe if you're out there.
Oh yeah, sure. I saw everyone being like, do his whole filmography.
By comparison to what you might have seen, his prices are very reasonable.
So, Brian, what you got, buddy?
No, I wanna tell just a quick little story about a young man who came onto my radar. He started buzzing around in my Twitter feed, and I became a mutual follow, and I enjoyed him. He was a fine little chap, and he started to get a little feisty. And he started calling out my fan friction days, my record. You know, I've been a little quiet in that arena. I was a former title holder. Anybody out there who doesn't know what fan friction is, it's basically a movie fights knockoff that we do online here, and
homage.
but there is, there's pride at stake, and a small prize of a beautiful belt that I made with these two hands. And but anyway, that young boy was Jusef, and he got his wish because we brought back fan friction basically off the strength of his excitement. We had a great fight between Buckeyes, an Ohio fight that I thought was really fun. And we had another challenger fight, and that all led up to what Jusef really wanted, which was to get in the ring with me, and then quickly and harshly to learn that I held that belt for a long time for a reason,
because Jack is in your pocket.
Fan friction.
I'm gonna mute me and
pile again.
You know what?
I had a lot of.
You know what, Brian? I
want to talk a little bit about it.
You know what, Brian? I challenged you because I was in search of winning the belt. But you know what I won? I won friendships. So without this,
you're not wrong.
I'd like to destroy a friendship real quick.
Oh,
go ahead.
I just met you. Come on,
Jack. If you're listening.
Uh-oh. Jesus Christ.
When all is said and done, give us a Flyover State of Film fan friction special.
Ooh. I like that. Okay, Jack,
maybe I'll get a point in that one.
I will. I have felt the sting of the no-hitter myself before. Not an easy thing to do. Sometimes you can fight hard and good in every round and still come up empty. But I did want to ask TJ and Joe if they had any interesting answers for any of the questions, any of the questions stand out to you, or is there any ones that you would have wanted to fight or get in on?
Can you just give us a quick refresher?
I'll give you the first one.
Best TV Western.
Best TV Western.
Okay. Well, hey, dude.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I would have went unique and tried to do like a True Detective. I feel like that is a crime Western.
That's kind of the way, which was something trying to do a little, something that wasn't necessarily thought of as a Western. Also, full disclosure, I knew of Jack's fandom of Firefly, and I used that to my advantage.
Collusion.
Yeah. Check the emails. Sheesh.
Yeah, honestly, I don't care about like the points. It was fun fighting, but I thought that was the one that I was gonna win based on how the fight was going. I thought I was like, and then Jack was like, "Oh, but Firefly is my favorite show of all time." But I'm gonna put this aside. I'm like, "No, you're not."
He definitely did his best to put that aside. You could see it in like his face. No. Like, I gotta try to do that. But also like with that one, because everyone went. You guys went. Who did you did Firefly, correct, Brian?
Yeah, that was mine. Yeah.
So like they did classics. You went with the offhand, like Joe's doing with True Detective.
Shout out to Westworld. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. I was like, somebody's gonna pick Westworld, right?
That would be a great one.
That's definitely like, I feel like upper alley.
It's only like successful Westerns in a while.
Deadwood's a really good one.
Yeah, I just wanted to focus on like the imagery and like the thing that you think when you think about Westerns, you don't think about robots or spaceships or like. So that's where I went.
Well, I loved what you were saying when you were saying it's all about going to shootout noon, the whole nine. Like that's what you expect. You expect the things on the back of your things you kick a horse with that hurts them.
I
one of those
think that's
it hits all the tropes.
I want to leave you guys with a compliment here. I think that was the best fan friction I've listened to.
Thank you.
That was definitely a great one because also from fight normally like 2 fights to get into get into it. You guys from the very beginning jumped right into it. And also, how did no one say Dazed and Confused? The best use of film.
Drug film. That's what I fucking had.
Or even like Fear Loathing in Las Vegas, which I don't like, but it's a great use of it.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong, but I was like, wait, take a minute, because you can get burned on the speed round by jumping in too fast. That was a tough
thing that someone said about Jusef's. It is the one moment in This Is the End, but it is a great moment and use of every drug. But like Dazed and Confused, literally from beginning to end. I mean, yes, it's only marijuana, and you can argue alcohol obviously is drug use, but it's the best character in the film without obviously being a named character with just the belt buckles and stuff like that.
Kid stoned and like with his friends, and the guy didn't want to go party and he drops kegs too early, and that ruins the. So it's like it has the most of drugs have the most effect on the plot.
Wait, Joe, what did you just say?
No, I
that was a good one. What you said.
I know. I didn't say anything. I
thought you were starting to do one.
I mean, you probably could argue Pineapple Express.
No, I would do a Pineapple Express, but honestly, I think I'd do like Howard and Kumar Go to White Castle.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. Or I was thinking dark, like you do like a Coke movie, like Below or Scarface.
You know what one would win it all? Because this is for me. Because like I don't like Half Baked because they didn't do any of the smoking in the actual film. Grandma's Boy.
That's a great one.
It's probably Happy Madison's best movie done in a couple of years.
Sandler, underrated. What is that? Happy Madison. His production company. Their entries.
I thought about Requiem for a Dream, but since you guys went so funny, I didn't want to be that asshole with the consequences.
Even like Trainspotting.
I don't like Trainspotting.
I haven't seen it yet.
You've never seen Trainspotting? It's all right. I think it's overhyped.
But then you go like Basketball Diaries. You fall down that what me and Jusef were talking about earlier. You fall down that hole of just like
Traffic.
Like
2001 Best Picture winner, Traffic.
Yeah, just like you really fall in those dark drug.
The one about crystal meth too. That was like right around that time.
But even like the pitch round.
Help Nelson.
Nah, it starts with an S.
That's heroin.
Half Nelson is good. That's Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Find it, but I'm hiding.
No, you know what's funny? During your fight, I thought of one, and it's completely escaping me. It was like another.
I thought you said it like 10 minutes ago because you said a movie or you said something towards me, and I was like, wait a minute, that's a really great call. But
there's. I really like a decent amount of stoner comedies, but Pineapple Express might be the one for me that I would have went with.
Yeah.
I would say Superbad, but it's not really a drug movie.
Yeah, not too much.
It's limited. It's used throughout.
Although Superbad, I think, is one of the better comedies to come out in the last decade.
A lot of Apatow kind of oeuvre, I think.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, you know what's funny about 40-Year-Old Virgin? They thought all the weed use in the movie, there's not that much, was going to be like the big hot button issue.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like something else they spoke about.
Out of an apple once, right? Like that was it.
Yeah, there was something in one of those movies where they were like, "Oh, they're gonna like just kill us for this." And I
would imagine what doesn't hold up now is probably mostly like the homophobia, the gay panic shit of like, "Oh, you're gay because of this and that." That's probably a little awkward, and I guess overall treatment.
I still put 40-Year-Old Virgin in my rotate. Like it's one of those movies that I like put on whenever. I think it's still really funny.
Like a lot of comedies, it's problematic just, as time moves on. It's not like the jokes still land, it's not that it's not humorous, but yeah, it's just one of those things where
it's like I probably don't want to say I like it on a podcast, but I'm gonna.
So I don't want to cut in Brian, but I want to ask you one thing. So you got to face Kimber coming up, correct? They don't know. Yeah, okay, well, Kimber's obviously the champ for a reason. She's a dominating force. But you don't know who your third fighter is. Do you have any insight into the next fight that goes into that?
No, see, there's going to be like a whole tourney, so it'll be like there'll be fights, and then the winners will go into a number one contender spot, and then the winner of that fight will move on. So actually, there should be room for a lot of new contenders. I'm hoping to get. I know there's some people they want to come back. We have some between.
Jack doesn't want me to come back.
well, I was gonna say between the Tough Channel and Odd Shape Channel, there's kind of a community there of people, so, but at least 9 spots, so to go to people.
Jusef got one win and got shut out, so he's
Jack. Special Flyover State of Film fan fights. Make it happen.
Absolutely.
The first 4-player thing.
No, I'll be the fact checker.
You could actually get a point in this one.
Oh hell no! You ring.
Make every round a pitch round.
Well, why don't we do us 3, and then the winner makes it to Brian?
No, fuck Brian. So Joe, what's your
my topic? My sweet sexual topic, but not really. Is I want full disclosure, I want to talk about this whole Oscars thing, but I don't want to fucking talk about that. What is a movie character that you think had seemingly in the movie they had a happier ending, things ended well, but they are so fucking scarred later on, and they're just probably living a miserable life now?
I have a simple answer. Very, very simple answer, and I thought of this just now. And any animal involved in any film in the 80s and 90s.
Okay, that's not a good answer.
What is that? That's a great answer. Air Bud, probably very upset. The guy.
No, Air Bud went on to go have Air Buddies. We know his arc.
He got laid.
Free Willy. Do you think she was happy? No. Or he was happy? No.
So don't assume it's gender. So,
can't tell.
So to give you a frame of reference here, for me, it is Elizabeth Perkins's character in Big. She saw seemingly the love of her life turn into a small child and then just let him go home. You don't think that messed with her head, who she had sex with, messed with her head for years, and that she didn't just occasionally, 5 years later, let me go see what Joshua's up to. Oh, he's kind of grown into a young Tom Hanks again.
Yeah, do you think she tried to Mrs. Robinson him later in life? Like she showed back up, she's a little older, he's a little older.
Absolutely. And he was like, no.
Well, yeah, he got with the girl that from the thing that was too tall for him to ride the ride.
No, she moved away after middle school. That's a girl that moves away.
Don't take what happened to you in middle school and put it on him, okay? That's not nice.
Same girl who's like the townie in the great outdoors that hooks up with the older brother. That's her. So
she wants to get out of the town.
No, all I'm saying is Joshua made out well. He's wise. He's going to live high school like this. Doesn't matter. I could get a good job at a toy place by just being silly. Her, on the other hand, is like, fuck, I did my taxes, and the love of my life is a 15-year-old boy.
Damn.
So, what is your picks? Because I personally think she is just a tragic character.
Well, the one that I thought of, and I've thought of this before, I've heard other people talk about it, but I'll steal it and pretend that it was my own, is the kid Spike from Toy Story, who finds out that toys are real and realizes that they're sentient and that they could come to life and kill him at any moment. Like, that kid's life is ruined, right?
He grew up to be a garbage man.
Right, but we don't know what kind of pills he takes to keep the demons at bay. Bad job. I'm just saying that kid got.
He probably cleaned out his entire house of any single toy.
Can we make a parallel with him and Andy from Child's Play?
Right, he's me. After I first saw the Child's Play movies, where I would literally say goodnight to every individual stuffed animal and toy on my bed, so that in case they came to life, they wouldn't think I was playing favorites or anything. I was like, no,
I will up you hardcore. I would take every doll from Alf to Teddy Ruxpin to a Cabbage Patch doll, and I'd threaten them like the mom did with the fire. And I'm like, if you don't talk to me right now, and I'd bite their face really hard. Whatever. I was a kid. Don't. And then
that happened.
And if they didn't come alive, they were legit, and I put them in my bed, and we would sleep together, which was completely cool because it was a stuffed animal when I was a child.
This was 2 weeks ago.
I told you not to tell anybody when we saw the Meg. But I have a character.
If Homer became alive,
by his face.
No, we just want to drink beer together.
No, he's gonna stab you tonight. All right, but I have a character. Not Elliot, not Gertie, Mike. Definitely Mike, because he's the older brother. His younger brother, he probably already was, because Elliot was the baby of the family, regardless of Gertie. The mother definitely gravitated more towards Elliot, because Elliot was the sad one. Mike had friends. Gertie was an up-and-coming little girl. But Mike, after E.T. came and chose Elliot, and even kind of went towards Gertie, too, gave her the flowers, and all E.T. did to Mike was go, like, be good, and walked away, like, you kind of be like, Mike's like, well, I didn't really connect. Elliot has something in the back of his head. Gertie has a plot of flowers. What does Mike have? Nothing. I bet you got cut from the football team, too. Homer's creeping me out. So Mike definitely went down a very, very deep 80s, 90s drug hole. So that's my character.
Lost Boys in The Lost Boys.
Any Corey character, basically, in any movie.
I mean, I'm sure there are so many characters out there that seemingly they just had to go to therapy. You're like, oh, they lived happily ever after. Nope.
You got a good course, Jusef. You look like you've been thinking hard.
Well, I've been going through like 80s movies. Like I thought about the Goonies, or I thought about random movies that
Family went to Taken Sloth. Like, what the fuck do you think happened there?
Or
Mouth is struggling.
Revenge of the Nerds when the girl gets, raped.
But the one that probably has like the most like psych bills, or like the most pills that they have to buy to fall asleep at night is like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids family.
That's a good one.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Jeez.
They're probably like scared of every single thing that opens the door. Like they can't look at an ant and have like a PTSD flashback of when they were like over them and they were going to kill them. So
Trust your family. You can't whatever he's working on could cause you the worst. What if his new thing transports me into another dimension, or like tears me apart at a molecular level or some shit,
Wayne Zielinski, the next villain in every movie.
I love Wayne Zielinski, but first off,
has anyone ever seen Honey We Shrunk Ourselves?
Yes, it's great.
So good.
Are you kidding me? I had that on VHS. I thought that was like a big theatrical release. Nope.
Touching thumbs with you.
And the guy is, just so you know, the guy isn't Jeff Garland.
No, that's
Jeff Garland.
But it looks just like him and acts just like him.
I like Honey, I Blew Up the Baby. I like that.
That's a good one.
That's so underrated.
Is that Vegas? Is that the strip of Vegas he terrorizes?
He blew up, like he exploded. I was like, that name needed a second draft. Like everybody was just like, "Oh, it blew up the kid. Oh yeah, that's great." No, take another swipe at that.
You know what? I think Jusef, you win this pick because
this kid's definitely traumatized.
Because you imagine you shrink down and you're like, oh wow, and I can just change that on a whim.
I have points.
And also, they eat that giant turkey at the end. What does that do to your system? That can't be good. That's a lot of tryptophan.
Those are fun movies though.
Take a bite and pass out.
You know what?
That's a good trilogy watch.
Oh yeah. No, there's
good trilogy watch that only contains one actual good movie. You mean?
No, we said that Honey We Blew Up the Kid is good. Okay, Brian. Jesus.
Honey We Blew Up the Kids is a T on UPN 9. Check out Honey I Blew Up the Kids on a Sunday movie.
WB Channel 4 at 10 a.m.
Hey, I swear to God, I watched it on fucking the WB on a Sunday at 2 o'clock.
All right, the next character after that would be Hooper from Jaws, right, Jusef? What do you got, bud?
Now, Jusef, speaking of winning points, I think we should go to you.
All right, so coming off the huge success of my last game, I decided to write up another game. I wanted to play a game in where I will vaguely describe a character from a movie. It's 1 point if you guess the character, another point if you can also say the actor that plays that character, and an extra something if you can say the movie as well. So,
can I say something before we start?
Yeah.
Brian, if you cheat and then duck out again,
I want a point You guys just, I'm sorry, I was quick on the buzzer. What can I say?
I'm just saying.
I think Jusef should replace Pat Sajak. Let's get that trending. Jusef for Pat Sajak.
Are you guys
goes to Jeopardy. Jusef can be the new Josh McCool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll
say it along with me. Like, are you ready to name that character?
Wait, do you want to say it now?
No, that's it.
No, that was the bit, you idiot.
So our first character has been known to be a bit of a recluse. He has the perfect man cave located in the Misty Mountains. He has never truly been alone since he has a friend living inside his head. He hates shirts but loves jewelry.
Got it.
Who is this character? You have to write it. Write it.
Oh.
All right. Who plays it?
Andy Serkis, Schmeagol, Lord of the Rings.
Do you guys have it as well?
No, I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
I wasn't anywhere near it.
All right.
I was thinking anyone Val Kilmer's ever played.
He has 3 points for whoever is keeping that score.
DJ.
All right. Our next character is known to dabble with exotic meats. He loves to play games with people, mostly in a form of riddles. With piercing blue eyes, he's always available for visits as long as he is cleared by his caretaker. When in the right mood, he can be the right person to tell your problems to, since he has a unique perspective in life. But catch him in the wrong mood, and he will bite your head off.
I think I
got it.
Oh, I saw Brian said it first, so I don't know.
Oh, we're supposed to say it first?
I don't know.
No, write it.
Oh, okay. So we can all get the points.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Come on, DJ. 5 seconds.
Shit.
5, 4, 3,
Howard the Duck.
2, 1. All right. Joe, what do you got?
Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and Red Dragon.
Yeah. Brian.
Yeah, that's what I had too. You see it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Buffalo Bill Bob.
So you're wrong.
Yeah, well, duh, but fuck you. I got another movie.
So we have 3. It's tied. 3-3.
3-3.
All right.
Because wait, I want to clarify something, Jusef.
Yeah.
You have to get the character right first, and then the rest, right?
Yeah, if you want to. As long as everything is correct, yeah.
No. So TJ can't say the movie, and you can't say the movie and get a point.
No.
You need to get the character and it's a question. Okay.
Done writing Schmodown rules. Everybody has to be pens down before anybody answers.
No, this is name that character.
Wait, thing it has nothing to do with Schmodown. I've never even heard of that show.
All right. So our third contestant. How about we add some whimsy with our next character? This self-made entrepreneur with unique sense of fashion has shown a passion for singing and has a dry sense of humor. He encourages his employees to express their moral high ground, and he has been known to have a bit of a sweet tooth. Who is this character?
Can you repeat that?
Jesus.
Oh, how about we add some whimsy with our new character? This self-made entrepreneur with a unique sense of fashion has shown a passion for singing and has a dry sense of humor.
Yes.
I have it too.
Yes.
All right.
Wait, don't do it. Shit. I don't know the character's name. God dang it.
All right. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. TJ, what do you got?
Sweeney Todd, Johnny Depp. I don't know the character.
Wrong.
Damn it.
Next one.
Okay, so I have.
That's a good guess.
Wait.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
What does Brian have?
I'm sorry, Brian.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate.
Yeah. And who's
So I also have Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Gene Wilder,
But you're wrong. It's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the Tim Burton one.
I literally wrote all that down, you motherfucker.
But you said Charlie. It's not Charlie. It's Willy.
Well, he wrote both. Just in case, I guess.
All right. TJ is behind with 3 points.
Yeah.
Brian and Joe have 6.
I even put Johnny Depp in parentheses.
I didn't acknowledge that. That's garbage, and I would have challenged that.
Yeah.
No, I put Gene Wilder and Johnny Depp in parentheses.
All right. Coming up next, we have a dreamboat of a man known to be a blue-collar type worker. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty to get the job done. If you can get past his physical appearance, you will find his dark sense of humor and vast imagination. Once you meet him, you won't be able to stop dreaming about him. Who is this character?
This isn't right. I'm awful at this stuff. But I'm going to get a guess.
You're ready. You can go to me first.
All right, 10 seconds. I'm going to count down in Spanish, so just, 9, 8, 7, 6.
I remember those.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Joe, put the pen down. I can see you, man.
I didn't know we were playing that.
Yeah, we are.
Count it down, man.
All right.
Brian, what do you got?
I got Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
That too.
Yeah.
I have that too.
Oh,
There it is.
I'm so behind.
All right, everybody's tied except TJ. TJ, you can tie everybody, and I don't have an extra one to try it. So go ahead. All right. Our last character. All right, this is turning out to be a bit of a sausage party. So how about we add some diversity into this game? Our next character has a wonderful piece of real estate in the woods, perfect for a getaway vacation. She can be known to be a bit of a bookworm and has been described by some to be a bit obsessive with her stories. But if you also love her books she reads, you may have a leg up on the competition. Who is this character?
I got it. Well, I don't. Yes, I do have it. Fudge. Got it. Bad.
10 seconds.
Boom.
Yeah. 9.
I swear, if any of you guys get this, is there a tiebreaker?
5, 4,
Go.
3, 2, 1. All right, TJ, what do you got?
Kathy Bates, Dolores Claiborne, Misery.
You got 2 points. All right,
Damn it!
Joe.
Character's name.
Well, I forgot about that one, but her name's Annie Wilkes, but I put Beauty and the Beast, Belle, Emma Watson.
You got 1 point. Ryan, what you got?
So 2 points, we still lost.
What did you got, Brian?
I didn't have anything, but I still had 3 points ahead of TJ, so he didn't.
Joe won.
Wins.
So what was the answer?
Yeah. Kathy Bates, Annie Wilkes, and Misery.
Oh, no, I didn't write Misery. I'm saying I was answering him. I'm saying the character's Annie Wilkes. I didn't get any points on that one.
Why you didn't get any points? Oh, sorry. All right. You got tied.
No, can we get a tiebreaker?
I don't have a tiebreaker, man.
Make one up.
Pick one up off the top of your head. You smart
What number am I thinking of?
No, give us a real character.
Describe a character. We'll come up with it.
Joe just got real upset.
All right, this character has seen multiple faces, but you just have to think about the character and name a movie of the character because he's seen a lot of faces. This character has seen a lot of faces, but has worn the same suit. Who am I?
James Bond.
There you go. Joe won.
I was going to say the Joker. So.
Oh,
Very true, too.
that's also true. You could even go with Jack Ryan.
Yeah, that's true.
That show.
No, I wasn't thinking of Misery though. But yeah,
Say I'm a water technician, and then I became a college star.
Waterboy.
Hey, Joe got it. He won again.
Waterboy.
All
Bobby Boucher. Adam Sandler.
Yo.
1998.
Joe, meet yourself. All right, guys. Fifth episode. I made you guys watch a great movie from my childhood. Fred Decker's 1986 Night of the Creeps. So, before we get into even anything about this, can I get a thumbs up, thumbs down from everybody? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, so... Oh, even keel. I'll take that. Brian, you can go. So good. But guys, so our favorite number is 69. 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. I thought it was a good sign to use this movie. We're getting into Halloween. We're getting into fall. I figured we'd watch something ridiculous starring Tom Atkins. So, Night of the Creeps. What do you guys think about it straight off the bat?
I watched it right before filming, and I don't remember anything.
Good. Cut you off, Joe. The plot of the story is basically there's an alien ship. They have a bioweapon, I guess. They release the bioweapon onto Earth in 1959. It goes into a human person. That person gets cryogenically frozen. And then 2 kids in 1986 from a fraternity frat release this person, release this bioweapon, and then we get zombies and the whole 9. Jusef, what's up?
So I have a, before we get into the actual movie, I have a sneaking suspicion that the only reason why we watch this movie is because the lead is a redhead.
Oh, man. Well,
so that's the only reason you chose this movie?
Decent Lively. For anybody who doesn't know, Rusty from National Lampoon's European Vacation was a big icon for me growing up. You know?
No shit.
Yeah. So when you get a redhead who's not that, studly, and he wants to take a woman to a dance, I figured this was a good one we could pick for the 5th episode because they dressed up, we dressed up, they fight zombies, I fight you guys. Boom. But, yeah, so the movie's a mess. As Brian said in the chat, it's about 12 different plots.
I thought it was incredibly fun, actually.
That's what growing up.
So fucking boring. Nothing is happening. There's all these plots, but literally an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half movie before anything really happened. I was dying. I was like, what? Why did they have the whole thing in the 1950s? Nothing happened with any of that. The guy just came out and why couldn't it have just happened all in the 80s? What was the point of having the weird beginning like that? And he hated his crippled friend on the fucking wheels on the crutches. He was the worst.
Look, I love how 90% of what Brian said sounded like he was coming from space.
Yeah, Brian, you had a real bad echo.
Sorry.
You're like,
intro, you have these 3.
This movie sucks. Can somebody hear me?
I thought that was a good part of it. You know what I mean? From color to black and white, then back to color.
I like the cliche conversations. I like the acting wasn't 100% horrible.
Well, you know what's funny about the conversation? Shane Black wrote a lot of this.
Did he?
Yeah.
You know what? I was a little in and out of it. That's probably why I don't remember much. But I thought the cheesy special effects was pretty fun.
It cost $5 million to make this movie.
I thought it was impressive that everybody can get a headshot in this movie. Nobody missed a head. No. Every single bullet went straight to the head. It was impressive.
Tom Atkins, and I mentioned it, this is a good circle back to our first episode of the anniversary. I will. About Halloween 3. This is his favorite movie he's been in, and he's a goddamn star. It's Miller time, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like it.
I still think the reveal of him being the cop, they could have done more with that. I feel like there was they wasted him. He's the star of this movie, and they don't come back to him enough.
They definitely go too much on the kids and not enough on him. And I was watching this, I was saying, growing up, the reason I made you guys watch this is I like offhand horror movies, and growing up at 7, this was introduced to me the same night I watched The Fog, and it was one of those things to where I didn't catch the weird detective backstory of the serial killer that you see in the 50s brought into now, and that dark moment he has with the lead character sitting there drinking bourbon. Well,
I was gonna say, how about we gonna talk about how Tom Atkins was about to kill himself? He had himself sealed up in his own apartment.
No, but he did. That's kind of the fucked up thing.
He's off the deep end in this one.
No, in the end, he spoiler alert. Sorry, he fulfills his fantasy or his desire of committing suicide, but this time around, he's doing it to kill the infestation.
Did anybody?
But he fails, right? He fails because then we get that, and that's another thing. I can't believe a movie this bad had the balls to sequel bait at the end. I'm always like, "Fuck you, man!"
I definitely want to get to that. Before we get to that, the whole thing about this being an '80s horror film, you have so much ridiculous music you use. They do not use any 80 music other than
I know why TJ liked this movie as a kid because it had boobies in it. Let's just get it out there.
Those boobies were nice.
I think 9% of 80s movies have boobies.
It wasn't just the other girls in sorority. I had to say I was shocked that like the main girl, like the star, the lead girl, they made her get topless too. I was a little surprised. I was like, I thought that's why it was set in a sorority because I was like, oh, these girls will be the ones they use to get in like the necessary 80s nudity.
And it was weird how they did it too because she was like,
it was changing
behind.
Well, they kept teasing it like it was one of those things where you thought they weren't going to pay it off. You know, you never know what kind of 80s movie you're watching.
Let's talk about also how great Tom Atkins like lines are. Every time he shows up on screen, the very beginning, he's in like a shadow, and they go detective, and he goes, "No, it's Bozo the Clown," or like, "No, it's Bowinkle the Moose." Like those ridiculous lines, and like
thrill me.
Yeah,
his thrill. I love that thrill me bit. That's a solid runner.
5 times he says it. And also, I'm upset at the very end. Spoilers. The redhead gets to say it, and he doesn't get to say it. They definitely missed that part. Like,
why the hell do they keep switching the flamethrower? Like,
first of all,
in one scene, the girl
they keep taking it on and off, and you know that's awkward as hell. One of them had to hold it while the other one got into the backpack. It wasn't like easy to switch over.
Right? Why are you jumping on and off the flamethrower? Like,
Joe, what's the guy's name?
Guy.
He gave it to her, and then he was like, "Oh, actually, that looks pretty fun. Can I get some of that?"
And then she starts getting headshots too. I'm like, all right, everybody can get headshots then.
The cop running the weapons thing. Okay, first of all, before all that, who's that guy's from?
He's in every Joe Dante movie.
Yeah.
So, what police department in the middle of nowhere? I can't remember where this is. It's a fake town, like Corman, because everything in this movie, every character has. It's fun fact. Every character in this movie's last name is a homage to a horror or sci-fi director. So James Cameron, Detective Cameron, the girl, Cynthia Cronenberg, David Cronenberg, and Romero. It goes on and on and on. But like even like the town Corman, it's a Joe Corman, the comedian or something like that. What I'm saying is like, what police department has a flamethrower?
Right.
It's not a real thing.
I just naturally assumed they confiscated it. I thought it was something they like confiscated and it was in their armory based on they had like taken it from something else. I wanted to give a shout out to a cast member, the dude who plays Steve, right? The bully, the kind of boyfriend who's the asshole, the bleach blonde guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I could not place that dude. I couldn't place him, and I'm like looking at him like, who the hell is this? And this is going to be an obscure reference. When I say what he's from, probably nobody's even going to care. But it was bugging the shit out of me. If there's any Mama's Family fans out there, anybody who used to watch Mama's Family, he was Bud, the son of Vince, the grandson of Mama, Vicki Lawrence's mama on Mama's Family.
I know Mama's Family.
I just had to get that out there because it was bugging me the whole time I was watching the shit. Where do I know that dude from?
He was like a stupid version of Biff, the guy from Karate Kid. I'm sorry.
Billy Zabka.
Billy Zabka.
Yeah, exactly. He's a Billy Zabka knockoff for sure.
Yeah, and then even
he's also anybody. What is it like? He's the dude from Ski School. He's all those guys.
Ski School is the best. I love Ski School.
Ryan, do you want to?
Jusef's trying to talk to me.
Do you want to talk about your love for the kid with the crutches?
Dude, I don't understand how you do not like this character.
He's the worst.
First of all, he's the fucking worst. He's a total like scumbag little misogynist piece of shit. He's not funny. He's the worst kind of person because he thinks he's funny and he's not. Also, I got this thing about people who are like handicapped who use that as a way to be an asshole because they know nobody will call them out because they're handicapped. It drives me fucking crazy. I can't stand it.
Look,
well, guys, what Ryan just said, I can't fully endorse.
Thank you.
because I respect
I'll say
being
it right
disabled.
now. I'm not saying every handicapped person does that. I'm not saying that an asshole.
No, I'm just kidding.
What I'm
He's
saying
the fucking
is,
worst.
I
He's the
have
worst
met
character in the
people.
movie.
There have been people in my life.
I know who you're talking about.
A wingman like that comes once in a million years, okay?
That dude would get me too'd in a heartbeat.
Yeah. First of all, from actually being the best friend he is and calling. First of all, that scene, not the scene where you're talking about the really cheap scene on the tape recorder. I think that's a great scene. But the scene
That is
where
some horse shit. There is nothing about the way they present that relationship between those two guys that has that level of emotion and sentimentality in it at all. And then all of a sudden, he picks up this tape recorder and gets a tear in his eye, and I'm supposed to be like, "Oh yeah, there was a really no." Those two guys, he looked like he could barely tolerate that kid up until that moment.
Wait, I just imagine like Brian watching the movie. And as soon as the bleach blonde hair kid pushes over, like I just imagine Brian like going like, "Fuck yeah!"
I may or may not have fist pumped. I'm not gonna say. I can't confirm a fist pump.
Everybody needs that one friend.
That kid.
Everyone needs that one friend to say "fuck you." And that scene where he curses his pussy friend out for not talking to the girl and making him to do it and make an ass of himself. That was the perfect scene to make you care about the tape recorder scene. It might not have worked for you, but you are heartless. So, booyah. All right?
Nah, it sucks.
Also, let's get back to the ending.
Wait. Can we circle back? Actually, I want to circle back to the beginning, though.
Yes.
Wait, like, I want to also say, for the longest time, I was calling it Calling All Creeps. So I went out and watched half of the Goosebumps book and read 5 pages of the book.
Why would I make you guys do that?
Goosebumps is a great show. Hey, if you go out and watch Goosebumps.
Yeah, but what would I make? Oh, goodness gracious. Jusef, what were you saying?
TJ would like it because there's no boobies in it, but whatever.
Listen, if you watch the episode of Calling of the Creeps and read 5 pages of the book, it's pretty accurate to the source material. And that's nice to see.
What did you guys think of the opener in where we have like that non-explained alien ship and where there's like I don't know the politically
You mean those garbagey little aliens who clearly had masks where their mouth couldn't even move? It's like a dwarf in a skin suit. That shit was fucked up.
Ringo with the leftover back in me.
The bulge of the actor. You're like,
right?
What's happening here?
I gotta leave.
Guys,
I have no underrobe. I gotta leave.
He's not wearing pants, guys. This guy's not got pants on.
Guys, Warwick Davis need at work.
No. Warwick Davis never would have been in this shit.
No, not
he
at
was
all.
busy making Willow, man. That guy had Willow money.
Actually, that was the year before.
Look, I am. You
wait.
We need to let TJ defend this thing.
You got no dick.
God damn. First of all, look, practical effects are on point in this goddamn film. Okay,
I do like the practical effects. I like the little worms. I like the little worm colony at the end. It was all like squiggly and gross looking. I like that.
I like the cat zombie.
And the dog zombie.
Cat and
they overused the reverse shot. Like they had the actor like put the worm in their mouth,
right, and pull it out of their mouth. Yeah, I'll get.
Even like the woman in the water, and when he's having the dream, you know what I mean. And also,
hey, I grew up in an island, and nobody's wearing fucking suits to the beach.
You guys did catch like, that he was the cop who comes up in the beginning and sees the girl in the car, and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, he tells that story later, but like it didn't mean it. It wasn't. It wasn't anything like. That's what I was like. I realized after he has the weird dream when they first introduced. First of all, they wait way too long to introduce Tom Atkins. Way too long. Then like he's having a weird dream, and like I kind of pieced it together. But then he tells the story, but it doesn't like. It doesn't mean anything to the plot. It doesn't impact anything. It's just like a weird story that the red-haired kid can be like, "Oh, you're really fucked up." That's like all it is.
Right, my favorite line from him was when he's like looking out the window. He's like, "Girls, I got good news. Your dates are here."
That was the tagline of the movie.
They're dead.
Yeah. Even like the scene where he's in the room with all the like the girl who turns into a zombie and the 2 guys who broke in, and they do that 360 scene where he's just firing like 1,000
Yeah,
shots.
that's good stuff. I like that. I did like that.
But it's a six shot. They didn't count any of the shots going off. So there's like 25 shots going off. It's only a 6-shooter. He's like, oh, okay.
That's why I went here, because it definitely has its moments and where I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
Well, think about it.
I could see this movie being highlighted on How Did This Get Made. They've done a lot worse fucking movies that are pretty boring.
I'll take that.
And this would be a fun How Did This Get Made movie. That's where I stand on that.
Well, you also got to think
I think it's when I can see why, if you grew up with this movie, you love it. I get that. Like, I can totally get into that. It's just like coming in as an adult and already having things that are like similar enough to this that I'm like, this doesn't cut it for me anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm coming at it just from a different place. You know,
it's like
fuck that Crutches kid, by the way.
It's like Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Like, don't watch it today, but both TJ and I like it.
Yeah, and like also it's Fred Dekker.
Plus, if this was just a show of everybody going, that movie was great, didn't you like it? I liked it too. Well, what the fuck? That would be the boringest shit ever. Oh, wasn't it good? It really was good. Yep, we all liked it. Derp, derp, derp. All right, yeah, well, fuck off then.
But
just like The Dark Knight Rises.
Two things. I figured out what happened, Brian, what I was complaining about earlier. So there's an ending that I saw that I'd never ever seen in my life. The end of this movie, it was super confusing to me. So back in the 90s when I saw
tell everybody the ending you are familiar with first.
Yes.
And then it's the one that we all saw as the new one to you, right?
Exactly, yes. So in the 90s, watching this movie, I believe I must have saw it on TV the way I was reading this on the internet. So they have two cut scenes. So the director's cut, which is something else, and then what I saw. So basically at the end of the film, Tom Atkins, the Detective Cameron, goes in the basement, does this whole thing, blows the entire sorority house up. That's it. So then the whole crowd's out front. They have the romantic kiss. They have the little moment. Then the lead girl, Cynthia, bends down because that little dog runs up to her, and he picks her up, or she picks the dog up. Oh, it's so-and-so, whatever your name was.
Still zombie dog? Does it still look like a zombie
dog? And it shoots a slug in her mouth, and the screen goes black, and goes into 80s music credits. I didn't realize that so what we all saw is whatever you guys watched on and what I watched on was the director's cut that they only released when they re-released the Blu-ray version in 2004. So basically what happens in the end of this one is Tom Atkins, as Detective Cameron, is perfectly intact. He's just burnt to a
totally burned. I love it. It looks awesome.
Walking down the street, sucking on a cigarette, which is insane.
Awesome.
Falls down, head explodes, boom, slugs go into the Corgan cemetery. You think that, like, okay, you're going to get, like, Night of the Living Dead 2 scene, but then all of a sudden, like, a spotlight flashes on a grave, and it's the alien ship from the very beginning expanding and, like, checking all over the graves for the slugs.
Right, and are we meant to think, now here's my thing, are we meant to think that they're doing, like Requiem style, where they're coming in to clean up their own mess, and they're trying to, like, are they sending a team to do that, or yeah?
So I have two things. So like this is the one of the many plots that have never ever been established in this film. What was that one alien doing, stealing the bioweapon? What was it? And what were the two chasing him? Like, was that guy like a Star Wars rebel type of a thing, like a Diego?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like he was just getting rid of the bioweapon.
No, TJ, that's going to be shown in Masters of the Universe too.
No. You know what it reminded me of was actually Prometheus. You know, they got those jars that's got the bioweapon in them. So I think those guys were maybe like engineers. Like this is a crossover with the Alien franchise. I think maybe
they're tiny engineers. They build the small stuff, and
they build the smaller shit.
You're the one that fed the guy at the beginning of Prometheus that thing's like, here, drink this, we're gonna leave.
Right. In the beginning of Prometheus, when you see those guys in the robes, it's actually two of those things, one sitting on the other one's shoulders like little rascals. You just can't. They never really focus in on it.
I love Prometheus.
Basically, with this, I wanted to bring you guys into my little growing up horror world going into fall. It's at 9. But at least if you guys didn't enjoy it, at least it was a little bit of fun, I hope, for you guys, somewhat.
Hey, you know, I love a good hate watch, you know what I mean?
Something fun also.
I love a good, so bad is good, so I was happy.
It's better than, it's on the same level as Chopping Mall.
Okay, yeah.
And the dude from the Armory is in Chopping Mall, too.
Yes, he is. He's in all those type of fucking movies.
Fun fact: before we end this before we end this movie out, Greg Nicotero, Walking Dead's own Greg Nicotero, zombie, plays one of the zombie extras in the film.
Oh.
There you go.
I don't know which one, but he's one of them. So find it, guys.
No, good pick, TJ. It fits our show.
So I know next week I believe is Mr. Brian.
Ooh, I'm back to hosting again. Oh man.
So what's the movie, man?
I actually was going to present you guys with two choices because there's and they're a little bit different. One is one I just recently watched on Netflix. It's called Antibirth. It stars Natasha Lyonne and Chloe Sevigny, if you're familiar with those actresses.
Mm-hmm.
Natasha Lyonne's on Orange is the New Black. Chloe Sevigny, Zodiac, Boys Don't Cry.
I've seen the ads.
Things.
Brown Bunny.
Kids.
Brown Bunny, hey now. This guy knows Pornhub.
I'm a cheerleader.
So it's a, kind of a weird horror comedy. I don't want to give away too much. But also on the other end of the spectrum, the other one I want to present you guys with is a what we like to do low. I know TJ specifically loves a good low point in a franchise. And I was thinking about revisiting RoboCop 3. So I figured I would either present RoboCop 3 or Antibirth, which is on Netflix. It's easy to find.
Fun fact. I didn't get to bring this up. It goes right into this. So, Brian, do you know who directed Night of the Creeps?
I remember seeing the name, and it looked familiar, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Okay. Fred Decker. He directed Monster Squad.
Yeah.
He directed Tales from the Crypt, and he directed RoboCop 3.
Nice. Which Tales from the Crypt did he direct? The show? Was he do episodes of the show? Or
1989 to 1991, I believe.
Because I personally think that Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight is an underrated horror classic.
I watched that the other week.
And
Billy Zane.
Billy, that's a top-notch Billy Zane. And that's Jada Pinkett maybe at her very hottest.
I rewatched Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight the other week.
It's
incredible. It's so good.
I also love Tales from the Crypt. So
that showrunner is very good.
The Halloween episode. Or not the Halloween, the Christmas episode where Santa, the crazy Santa, that's like an all-timer.
That's the second episode.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's one of I revisit every Christmas. I love it.
Brian, that's the only, that actually might be the first episode. That's the only episode that the creator of Tales, of the comics, Tales from the Crypt, whatever, I forget his name. It's the only one he saw, and then he passed away.
Yep.
Oh, hey, you know what though? I bet he was pretty happy because that one's.
Oh no, he oversaw it. He gave his blessing.
Good, awesome.
Staying up to 11 p.m. on a Saturday when you were 6 or 7 to watch Tales from the Crypt and see that.
The intro of Tales from the Crypt is so iconic.
Yeah. And
that voice still gives me that introduction still gives me a little bit flutter when if I watch an old episode. I get a little bit of excitement. The whole down the stairs and into the crypt and the whole 9 yards. I love it.
I'm going to save this, okay? Let's have a topic next week for Tales from the Crypt.
Okay.
Or the following week in the bye week. But because of this, because it flows so well, we should do a RoboCop 3.
You think so? Because it already
and off air and whatnot, my brother and his wife on their honeymoon this past month ran into Peter Weller and did not know who he was in Italy.
He's not the RoboCop in RoboCop 3.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. Okay. Speaking of RoboCop,
he's the best ever.
Anyway, I'll tell you that story off the air because it's pretty wild.
All right, I think it's good.
RoboCop 3,
everybody. RoboCop 3.
Yeah.
RoboCop 3?
Well, I'll watch.
Is everybody fairly familiar with the first 2 RoboCops?
No, yes, I'm going to rewatch them.
You're going to rewatch the whole. Nice.
I'll rewatch 1 and 2 before we do.
All right. So we'll do RoboCop 3 then. Sounds good.
So guys, this is the 5th episode. We didn't think. So Joe, can you bring up those messages, please? Is that still possible?
Bring up the receipts.
Yeah, no one thought we'd make it to 5 episodes.
No. Okay. Brian and Joe. I always had the fortitude and the vision.
Give me a second, fellas.
Of this podcast being the #1 podcast I share.
So again,
okay, before we sign off,
yes,
I would like to show you guys a message exchange before the first episode Brian and I had.
Talking on because we have a group chat, so they went on. They slid on their DMs.
Me and Joe have been friends before this podcast. So we had our own, separate chat before this ever started.
So,
right, I'm old.
Do you guys see the screen?
All right, so basically,
we got it. We can all see that I didn't have any faith in us, and I'm a curmudgeon.
Shut your mouth, Brian.
Wait. I'll play Brian, and you play Joe, TJ.
Yes. Perfect.
So right, I'm old, and I got a life and a family. I have barely been releasing my own shit.
I got you. Yeah, it should be fun, but it needs to be seamless to be fun.
Right, if you're gonna spearhead this thing, you gotta be on the ball. Like I said, 3 episodes tops. And I'll be shocked if there's more than 1 error.
Ha 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 ha. Not wrong.
I hate how good your impression is. Damn.
I think
that's
impressive that that's the stupidest thing we've done for 5 episodes.
Oh, jeez.
The most consistent thing I've done I can use that word so much with me, and it doesn't really equivalent to what I actually do in my life. So actually having you guys each week, like Brian was saying, at least 1 or 2 of us each week are getting into each of us and be like, yo, next week, the next week, the next week. So like,
I think I said off air, but I'll say it again now. I have been in several stop-start podcasts. There's plenty of people that you guys know that have recordings of me because I've been on a few that never aired or that aired only 1 episode, and so it wasn't so much that I thought that you guys didn't have it in you, but I just knew that like it takes at least 1 person to keep it going. But we've had 3 or 4 of us have been excited every week, and so I think it's gone fine. I'm happy to be proven wrong on this one.
Well, motherfuckers, you also forget to mention we have now been mentioned in Nerdist, Joe Blow, Comic Book, whatever the website name was. Our podcast was plugged.
Fandom.
Yes.
Comic Book Fandom. Our podcast was plugged in 3 locations on the internet, and maybe more.
Thanks to you.
Good, but you're not counting. You're not counting all the times my mom has told her friends.
I'm just telling Brian. We got our name out there this week, at least.
Damn right. Well, and I failed to plug us to the TTA Patreon crew out there.
I want to shout out that.
We're gonna plug it. Yeah.
I'm going to go right into plugs, but I'm going to give Brian a plug here. Really, if you're not a Patreon subscriber of Team Tiger Awesome, it's $3. It's the most affordable Patreon.
That's it?
And you could hear Brian have a really great episode about his top 5 franchises.
Well, just overall, it's a really fun show. Like the Team Tiger Awesome podcast is a really fun show, and their like Patreon stuff is fun too. If you like just weird, goofy stuff with guys who are clearly like longtime friends and have good chemistry and just are like comfortable being weird around each other. If you like a better version of what we're doing,
no, it's Team Tiger Awesome is a phenomenal podcast.
Yes.
And if you like a better version than us and minus the Latino,
we can only hope to get that way with a Latino.
No, I was honored that Clint had me on, and yeah, we did have a good time. We talked franchises. It was a blast.
That's awesome, dude. But with that, regardless, so we'll start with plugs and everything. So, 5th episode, guys. Great celebration. Next week, we're watching 2 weeks from now, we're watching RoboCop 3, led by Brian. After that, we're going to next cycle. We're going to Joe and then Jusef. But 5th episode, guys. Great celebration. I think this ran a lot smoother than the last one, unfortunately, because Brian didn't try to sabotage. Jusef and Brian, you guys can hash that out in the
Oh, I feel like it's been pretty well hashed out.
But yes, so Brian, where can we find you, bud?
Oh, hey, man, you can always find me on Twitter with my red hot takes at Hercules personal podcast, which is in the midst of releasing all my back episodes uncut in a podcast form. And also, I am in the process of recording new episodes. So some of these guys will probably be appearing with me soon, too, when I start releasing new ones. But that's the DVD Bunker. You can find the old episodes on YouTube. You can find the new episodes on the podcast, the Uncut Podcast, on SoundCloud and iTunes and, wherever. And I think that's it, right? I think that's all the places I am. And here. Find me here.
How about you, Joe?
You know what? I guess you could go on my Twitter and retweet and share my Howard the Duck as Tom Cruise movie posters. Besides that, I'm here.
I can't imagine anybody who's seeing this hasn't already seen those.
I know. We're done with that. But if you haven't, I guess.
God, get a new idea, Joe. You got to stay fresh. # content.
Content. No, just follow these guys and enjoy them. And like I said, I do want to give a big ass shout out to Monday, who I think kicked a lot of this off, and my success this off. So
very true.
But yeah. That's this Flyover State of Film.
At Chendango 1.
At Chendango 1, bitch.
You got Jusef.
Same old. WhyILoveMovies.com, where I try to answer the toughest question in life. It's like, why I love movies. And
also, why did I go see Slender Man?
And why? Thank God.
Why do I hate myself?
That's a whole podcast on itself. So, you can catch me here and on Twitter at Jusef Conesa, just like talking shit about Brian and how the fan fiction was bought from the very beginning because they wanted that rematch between Brian and Kim.
That is one thing before I leave. That's what I want to plug. Jack, we are having a Flyover State of Film fan friction. Bet your ass on it. Set it up. It'll be an exhibition. Throw in the goddamn towel. It's an exhibition. TJ, what do you got?
We're the Flyover State of Film. You can find me at TJ Dex. You're on Movie Squad right now. That's all of us. So basically, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this 5th episode. Go watch Night of the Creeps if you get a shot, or don't. It's fine if you don't want to. Watch RoboCop 3 for the next episode of Flyover State of Film. And, hey, have a good night, guys. Love you. Peace. Thanks for watching and listening, everyone. Please like, subscribe, hit the comments, and get ready for next episode where we watch RoboCop 3. And don't worry, we haven't peaked. We're just going to keep on going. Later.